I'm Santiago Martinez, partner at the Arena, and this is your introduction to the Organizing Goals Calculator. This tool is designed to take into account your turnout and persuasion numbers from the Arena Snapshot and translate those into measurable goals for your organizing team. So let's review a bit. You should start off with the Arena Snapshot tool. You completed it yet? You haven't. We'll head over there first, and then we'll meet right back here. It's okay. I'll wait. Okay, so in the Arena Snapshot tool, you calculated your win number and also determined how many people you need to turn out, persuade, and register to vote to win. You arrived at those numbers by deciding which demographic groups you're going to target. For example, in the snapshot, we determined that we are going to increase turnout among young voters ages 18 to 29, as well as women ages 30 to 49. So your next task as an organizing director is to go into Van or your voter file and actually pull a list of people who meet those criteria. You'll lean on your turnout scores and your support scores in Van to determine who to target. You'll also use the information from the Arena Snapshot to specify who to prioritize. Depending on how many people meet those criteria, you may need to narrow your search or widen it to a reasonable number. This can often mean increasing or decreasing the turnout or support score ranges. For guidance on how to adjust those ranges, see the Arena Snapshot guide. So this is your turnout universe. You'll do the same thing for your persuasion universe. All right, now you're ready to go to the Organizing Goals Calculator. Open up the spreadsheet, save a copy to your drive. After you've read the directions on the first tab, you're going to open the Assumptions tab. This tab is to help you set up the rest of the spreadsheet. In this spreadsheet, you're going to enter your targets. In the first two columns, you're going to enter in the numbers of attempts needed and conversations needed. Then you'll add your universes that you just pulled from Van into the third column. Now in this final column, it is going to calculate for you the number of passes you need to get through your universe and reach your attempts and conversations goals. Got it? You're going to repeat the same thing for your turnout universe. Now the final section of the document is to help you with your GOTV shifts. You're going to need the most people possible in the final 4 days of your campaign, so you're going to need to start recruiting early. Add in percentages here for how you want to ramp up your recruitment for those final 4 days. So for example, you might want to have 10% of your shifts recruited a month before GOTV, 20% recruited 3 weeks before GOTV, 60% recruited 2 weeks before GOTV. Make sense? These goals will factor into your volunteer recruitment goals. You should adjust these percentages to reflect your real capacity. Great, we've finished setup. Now go over to the Organizing Goals Calculator. At the top here, we have the countdown until election day. Always important to keep in mind. In the left-hand columns, you'll have several metrics related to your organizing goals. The first section deals with capacity. The bottom section deals with persuasion and turnout, respectively. So let's take a look at this top section. Here, you're going to input the number of organizers on your team. You're also going to input their personal call goals. How many calls do we expect them to make each week? The percentages at the top are where you expect to be in terms of capacity. So here we have 50% of your team hired by August, and then the rest of the team coming in September. Got it? The blue cells on the left are for you to input your goals and information about your team. We've entered in some average numbers for contact rates, attempts per shift. However, you should adjust these to reflect what is happening on your campaign. Let's go down to turnout. In the blue cells, we have universe passes and attempts per shift. Remember, a pass through your universe means you've made one attempt to contact everybody in a universe list. The passes should automatically populate from the Assumptions tab. What you need to do is determine your team's ramp. The ramp is how much you're going to increase your goals over time. You can't just go from 0 to 100. You need to gain momentum and increase your goals with time. So what percentage of the universe do you think you can get through each week to meet your goal? Just as we did with your GOTV recruitment goal, You'll slowly increase the percentages until you get to 100%. Good work. Now, we've established exactly how many calls you need to make, how many doors you need to knock, how many texts you need to send, and how many shifts you need to recruit and complete in order to reach your goals. You also see how many shifts you need to recruit under the volunteer recruitment section. This section takes all of the shifts required to do the work in the other parts of the document, applies a flake rate, or the number of people you expect to drop out without completing a shift. Then it calculates how many shifts you need to recruit for that week. This may seem like a lot, but I encourage you to play around with the numbers. Remember, this tool is most useful when you take into account your team's real capacity. You should adjust these numbers as your team meets, exceeds, or even falls short of their organizing goals each week. If you'd like a tool to help set organizing goals for each of your individual organizers, head over to the Progress to Goals tool in the Arena Toolbox. So to recap, 1. The Organizing Goals Calculator helps you establish the goals for your volunteer shifts, door knocks, phone calls, text messages, and your capacity building. 2. Input your turnout and persuasion universes in order to determine these goals. 3. Adjust the ramps so that you increase capacity over time as well as your output. 4. Always adjust to reflect the reality of your team and your district. That's it. You've set your goals. Now go meet them.